Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live with Sheryl. That's a little quick introductory music there, introduction to Live with Sheryl, because we're starting a little bit after the time. As y'all know, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is our usual new season, new Sheryl time. I am Sheryl Mebane. I'm your host, joined here by my wonderful sister, Felicia, Public Ninja, Dr. Felicia Mebane,
Uh-oh. I think we're still live. I'm not sure what happened to Sheryl, but she'll be back in a second. So as she was saying, I'm a public health. Yeah, I really like when she tells me that. Very interesting. So we'll have to explore that at another time. But until she comes back on, I'll just keep talking about myself. So I'm the executive director of the Center for Public Health Initiatives at Nova State University, and also the Associate Dean for Community Engagement and Outreach at the new ODU NSU EVMS School of Public Health, which is under development. And I guess I can keep talking. I really like Cheryl's podcast because she is so unique and she is so talented. So I can't wait for her to get back so she can share her music and talk about what she wants to talk about. Let's see. Well, in the past week, American Public Health, hi CB, the American Public Health Association had their the American Public Health Association had their annual meeting in Atlanta. So I was there from last Saturday. She is awesome. That is correct. That's correct. I mean, you're awesome too, CB. Oh, yeah. See, thank you. See all the love flowing around. I could just hear Sheryl saying that too. Thanks, CB. Anyway, so I was recently in Atlanta, actually, for the American Public Health Association meeting, and it was amazing. I mean, there were 10,000 people all interested in health and public health some kind of way. And it was really good because you can connect to people from, when you were a student all the way through being a professor, all the way to now I'm an administrator, but I'm still supporting public health. And they do a really good job with their conference because they have the traditional sort of scientific papers and presentation and research, but they also have these little nooks and crannies and places where people can go to, they'll have conversations or they'll have a podcast. They have APHA TV, American Public Health Association, APHA TV. And so it really is a great experience, whether you're a seasoned person in public health or you're new to public health. So I went last year, but before that I hadn't been in a while. And so it's really exciting to, be involved in the public health community in a way that I hadn't been for a while. So yeah, thanks for listening. Subscribe. I'm just going to hang out here until Sheryl gets back. So we'll see what happens. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Well, I know something.
Hey, you're doing brilliantly. That's amazing.
Off the top of my head.
I'm going to end this other feed because it has an echo. So I'm going to remove, oh dear, Felicia. Can you log back in, Felicia, please? Oh dear. Lots of oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. There we go.
Brilliant.
Okay. We're all together again.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to take myself out so I can sort of troubleshoot the audio, which please keep talking. And we have lots more show, but Felicia, you're brilliant.
Okay. I'll keep talking. Okay. So
thank you.
So one of the things that was exciting is that I'm live. I know. We know. I mean, sometimes this is what happens when you're live. You just have to deal with it and keep it moving. But one of the things that was exciting about this American Public Health Association is that I saw some people who are now my colleagues who were doctoral students, some really brilliant African-American women. Hi, Patsy. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Shay. Hi, all these other people who were, developed as professionals at UNC Chapel Hill when I was there. That was an unexpected delight. It was a real treat. Now, I was telling my age just a little bit because I was the professor while they were students, but it was still wonderful to see them while I was there.
That's awesome. This is good to get caught up with some of the stuff that you're doing. I still got a little echo. I don't know if y'all are hearing any untoward deck.
No,
Okay,
it
great.
sounds fine to me.
Awesome. Beautiful. Felicia, I love this because I was sort of wondering if we were going to get to catch up on some of your public health ninja doings. And this is
Yes.
brilliant that we can.
Yes, and
Oh,
one more thing. Go Heels. First of all, thank you, CB. Tar Heels. Okay. But the other thing is Norfolk State, and CB says it sounds fine. Thank you,
thank you.
CB. So one of the other things is Norfolk State belongs to the Consortium of African American Public Health Programs, or CAP, CAAPHP. And it's a group of HBCUs that have accredited public health programs. And you don't have to have a whole school. You can have 1 degree, 2 degrees, whatever you're building. And the idea is that they come together as a consortium so that, HBCUs have been underfunded for decades. And so sometimes they're maybe not quite as competitive when NIH and CDC and NSF are looking for a certain level of infrastructure. But when you bring us all together, we help each other out. And then the funding agencies can work with the group of us, and so that gives us more leverage, more power, more resources as a group, to work together. And then you're reaching students and communities, up and down. Most of us are in the South or the Southeast, primarily, at least right now. It's about 16 organizations. So they had their first reception at APHA this year, and that was very exciting. And I'm the secretary of the board of directors, so that's how I'm connected in. Yeah. So that was very exciting.
That's so cool. This is great. I'm gonna have technical difficulties more often, please. You're fascinating. This is awesome. I might just have to click a button and be like, I don't know where. I
Like,
don't
keep
know.
talking, keep
Yeah,
talking.
just keep talking, saying your words because your words are great. Now, this is really encouraging stuff. I mean, we do plug into health on Live with Sheryl and through Dr. Felicia and our health trivia. And it's great to have a extensive component of that and have a lot of encouragement to communities that we need it. I mean,
Mhm.
historically black colleges and universities under resourced in lots of ways. And so having folks come together and overcome that is what we need. It's
Mhm. Mhm.
encouraging. We love to hear
Yeah,
it.
and I will say, because of the pandemic, one of the unintended positive consequences is there was more investment in
Mm,
public health, and because of the current administration and the focus on sort of, balancing out some of those disparities, both in health as well as funding for HBCUs, there are more resources for our organizations, those organizations now than there ever have been before. But it doesn't mean that it's caught up, because you're
right.
you're making up for a systematic, something that was done systematically
Yeah.
against those organizations. And so it's going to take a little bit more than throwing money at it for a couple of years.
Right.
But it is promising, especially at least in the health field, that there are more and more opportunities, more and more programs, sort of dedicated to these campuses, because these campuses tend to focus on the communities that have the disparities. And if
Exactly.
we want to, lift all the boats and make sure that
Hmm.
everything is equitable, that's what we need to continue to do.
Exactly.
So,
Especially with something as fundamental as health,
right.
because that helps anchor everything else that we're going to do and helps our community stay strong when we're able to
Exactly. That's
react
right.
to not just pandemics, but daily and
Right, that's right. Like
persistent
trauma of
challenges.
all kinds, I mean,
Hmm.
all kinds of things happen to communities and individuals and groups, and we need to be resilient. We want people to thrive. That's a key
Yeah.
word in public health. Well,
Yeah.
there was an assistant director of the Department of Health and Human Services, and the theme that they have going forward is people, places, and thriving.
Mm.
And interestingly, I'm about to rename my podcast to People, Places, Public Health, and my brain went because that's the federal government emphasis, is people, places, thriving.
Yeah.
And so,
That's
but
good.
it's talking about what are the vital conditions that we need to have in place in order for communities not just to eliminate disparities, but to thrive. Right. And
Thriving.
then you're talking about what happens across sectors, because you're talking about education, transportation, public health,
Right.
healthcare, politics, the built
Exactly.
environment, all of those
Yeah.
conditions. What can we be doing so that the federal government is working in a way and working with partners at all levels, for public, private, everything, to help communities to have that as a reachable goal, like to thrive,
Exactly.
all communities to
All
thrive.
communities. And it's something that people have not ingrained in ourselves, that we should really be reaching for community wide. We're
Well,
thinking maybe,
except in public health, we do
right,
that.
been doing
Yeah,
that for a while. That's great, because
yeah,
you feel like when you're interacting in health spaces, you don't want to go in and have somebody targeting for you just eking by in a health space. You want
right,
people to, it's about like, I'm just for my doctors and anyone helping me be healthy. I want to be healthy, not just to just move around. I want to do a lot of great stuff. I want to
right.
thrive,
Yeah,
you know?
want to live your best life, as the kids say. So, and
Exactly.
then we want our communities to live, to be their best selves. For
That's
what people
right.
need. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love this. This is great. Well, I guess I'll try to bring us back to our introductory kind of, this is what Live with Sheryl happens to be. Usually we have our health component, we talk music, we talk art, connect all kinds of things that Dr. Felicia or other guests and I are doing. And I am a musician, researcher. I have a degree in chemistry, PhD there, and I've also done working around environmental health. I've worked at EPA, and so the public health messaging is familiar for me for my time over there. And I'm also a writer, so I have lots of updates to share with y'all. One of the things I wanted to connect to was music early on. It's been a while since I've had some new music to share with you all. This is a cover, and I've been sharing some covers that were some of my happy times at karaoke doings. This is one that is homegrown in this studio and with the collaboration of my California ace Greg Yim on guitar. So I'm going to pull this up for y'all. It does not have a visual, but it does have some new music. And I teased a little bit of it on the last live with Sheryl, and I just shared some of the backing of it. So this is the cover that I put together with Greg and me. But anything that's not right with it, don't bring Greg into it. That would be my fault. So hope y'all enjoy it. And y'all probably know it. Here we go. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin motherland shine, holy infants of tender and night. Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds cry at the side, glory stream from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born. Now, as usual, I have the challenge of wanting to play like the whole song, but I'm supposed to just be letting y'all have a glimpse into the doings. So when she
Yes.
played, Felicia, I
So
love your
you're talking.
reaction. You were like, "That's not what I expected. What's this now?"
Exactly. So my brain was trying to process now. So CB said awesome and beautiful.
Thank you,
So I
thank you.
agree. Because at first I was like, wait a minute now, we can't do too much, you know what I mean? Because I know this song and
Right.
it's very serious and everything. But it works. I like it.
Because you got to do something with the cover. You got to like it was the inspiration was supposed to be rock covers of
Yeah,
Christmas songs.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
had to take it into another space. But sometimes you might take it too far. Let me know if I
No,
did now.
no. I'm sorry, my brain is still processing, but it works. It's like it has that do, dude, like it was a steady, I didn't think it was too much. It was a steady beat but because you kept the singing the way that's familiar,
Yeah.
then it worked together, then it all worked together. So CB really likes it.
Cool. I just finished mixing and mastering that. Today is busy day. It was one of the reasons that Live with Cheryl was starting a little bit later because I was getting that out the door, you guys. So I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. And depending on how the health trivia works out, we can listen to more of it.
Oh,
You
okay.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
you
that
got some
was very
options there.
interesting.
Cool. I'm glad y'all found it interesting. We don't try to have boring music on Live with Cheryl. We try to keep it
Well,
interesting.
I will say that's one thing you do not do. You do not do boring music. I will say that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Totally unbiased opinion here, you know.
Yeah. Well, one of the things we do is we encourage each other unabashedly on this show. So that's our bias in general for all people related to Live with Cheryl. We try to be
CB
encouraging.
wants. She said. CB says she wants more. Just so
Oh,
you know.
awesome. Okay, cool. Well, let's get to the other parts of the show so we can get to earning that more. Oh, y'all already earned it just from existing, but that's what we usually do on Live with Cheryl. So if we get the trivia right, then you get to choose more music. That's how we got to do it. Well, we don't have to, but that's what I want to do. So let's get on to the other updates and things going on. So for y'all who follow me on social media, you might be aware that I was doing my Cheryl's Weekly Media Minute last week and this week about the Country Music Awards. I was able to check out a couple of inspiring segments there. And then also, I was over on poetryfoundation.org, just enjoying my life. So if anybody wanted to speak about any of those things, we could. But because we are jam packing a lot of content in, I'm just referring people to the goodness on poetryfoundation.org, and especially the duet that I heard between Jelly Roll and Kay Michelle, who's a recent able to move her career from R&B successfully into doing a Judd's tribute contribution. So she was doing duet with Jelly Roll because the Judds were really well
Oh,
respected and wonderful duet before the passing of the senior Judd. And
mhm.
so Kay Michelle's now been able to do this transition, which was hard as an African American woman trying to move in that space when she had fan base and support in the music industry for pigeonholing her in a way in R&B. So this is great to see her as an artist stretch out someplace where she feels authentically she can express herself and she feels connected to the music. So here.
And can I make one comment?
Please,
So
please
the
make several.
American Public Health Association gives out awards, and they gave one to Dolly Parton
Oh, I love
because
Dolly.
of her
She's
book,
great.
her giving out millions of books. Because one of the themes for the president of this year was reading,
Hmm.
and so they now she wasn't there because that would have been too much, but
Yeah, she's very
but
busy.
she was given in absentia, but still. So there's my CMA connection for the
That's
week right
amazing. Yeah,
there.
Dolly's great. She's got a rock album coming out talking about y'all branching out as artists, never too old to try something,
Right?
never too old to reinvent and welcome fans to see you evolve well
Hmm.
into
Hmm.
different stages of your life. I love
Yep.
it.
And
She's amazing.
CB says I love her. I love her too.
Yes.
She has done her
Same.
career correctly. I mean, she's had control. She writes. She's musical. She had her own thing back when her own thing wasn't the popular thing, and now it is. But she's just so talented. So yeah.
Yeah. She's just a really great role model in a lot of ways. And I think it's great for her to hear that from people, recognizing her, giving her those flowers. And we can do it on this show too, because she's great. We love Dolly.
And CB says she's so smart. I agree.
Yes.
I agree with that. Hmm.
Absolutely. And I love that when people are smart, they're sharing it out so all of us can be inspired, especially in different industries where, well, in any industry, knowledge is power, anywhere, knowledge is power. So, especially though, I think in entertainment, there are layers of misinformation that can go out there as people are trying to market and do certain things. And so, for her to share some of what has worked a lot over the years with folks, writing your own things, doing it your own way can really help. So that was an inspiring chat. I wanted to also go through some quick updates as I mentioned already doing some more music. Y'all got to hear some of the more recent covers, but I am going to be in anticipation of releasing additional new music, but it's going to be original music in 2024. As I mentioned last time, migrating some of the pieces from Love, Lust, and Life that don't quite fit the new stuff. I'll be migrating those over to Patreon. So y'all will want to enjoy everything that's there now and then move on over and support me on Patreon if you want to get access to everything. Everything is not going to be moved over, just certain things that might not fit with the evolution of me. If Dolly can evolve, then I can evolve as well, y'all. It's all good. So, also, I've been doing screenwriting. I was editing away on another version of some of the things from The Thief and the Wedding Doc by the Sea. I got a little serial idea related for these characters now. So now I got me a pilot out of this universe, y'all. So y'all are seeing a lot of updates as I create from that project over the weeks. And then also been doing auditioning. I was enjoying doing a lot of variety of reads. I have a lot of different accents that I do. So people ask to send a demo. Sometimes I think, how broad should I go here, y'all? I can do a lot of different things. I don't want to scare y'all. So,
Well, it's
so
probably better to have options. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Definitely when you do, if you're going to send multiple takes of a read, give them something different, some variations. But with the demos, you want to have people have some type of way to remember who you are. So sometimes you don't want to go but so far afield with one demo, but then you could show 'em a couple of demos if they're interested. Like I have several demos up on my websites and other places. So there's different ways to think about when you audition in versus sending the demo. So those are updates as I create, and I always like to share that with y'all so y'all can see some of the goings on in the creative process. But y'all, because there's so many good things going on for me, I need a little help sometimes trying to relax. So today's health trivia is gonna dip over into ways to help us relax after we have a stimulating day trying to thrive. Here is my question for y'all. And what I want y'all to do is select the pair of relaxation techniques that are helpful if you have trouble falling asleep. A busy mind like mine sometimes has a little trouble because I'm thinking about the next idea, spin-off thing I want to mix or whatever. So we have some selections here. I'll just read the selections. Both of these things have to help you relax right before you fall asleep. Would it be A, relaxation breathing and dancing, B, imagery and exercise right before you go to sleep? Or would it be C, meditation and progressive muscle relaxation? Like, sort of,
You
sometimes I
gave
just,
it away. You can't act it out.
I gotta act it out because I need to do some of these things. I need to get moving. It's not my bedtime yet. Ooh, I'm giving a lot of it away. Let me give y'all. So I try to be helpful on live with sure. I want y'all to get these things right.
Well, we
And
have an answer.
okay, what's the answer? See, y'all are correct. This is so true. And this is from a resource that I pulled up. Y'all can check it out. It's a resource within the CDC and niosh. So they're helping nurses. They were thinking about a module. They had a whole large module helping nurses who work long hours or have odd shifts to try to have resources to help them fall asleep. So they were saying they had a list of a few different things that are best for relaxation breathing, imagery, and I think that could be related. Imagery I think could be related to meditation, and relaxation breathing can be related to meditation. As far as how I know about different ways to meditate, we've talked about different ways to meditate on the show. And progressive muscle relaxation, so they like us to do any combination of those things that can work. I personally like to do a bit of that relaxation breathing and then progressive muscle relaxation. I've heard to tense and then let it go. That's how I've heard about that. I think that's what that is. I might need to be educated about what that is. Is that
Yeah.
what progressive muscle
Well,
relaxation is?
I think it's both that as well as I've been doing really short yoga videos. I think it's also progressive, as in they say,
Oh,
imagine you're starting with the top of your head or something, and then
okay.
you move progressively down through your body until it's all relaxed. Yes.
Yes, I've done that with yoga as well as a way
Mhm.
to, I think from the corpse pose where you lay flat, that can
Mhm.
be one time where you go through and
Mhm.
slowly scan through, like you said, from
Right.
top to bottom.
Yeah.
Very helpful. Well, whoever has provided that wonderful, lovely answer of C gets to decide. Do we want to close out live with Sheryl, listening to the rest of Silent Night, or do we want to dip back over to some of the covers from doing karaoke, some of the things that y'all have heard before? So y'all want to hear the rest of Silent Night, or do you want to dip back over, get a little bit of variety, and go into some karaoke
You
that
have
y'all
an
like?
answer. Silent Night Rock. That's the answer.
Let's do it. Let's do it, y'all. So, thanks again for joining us live with Sheryl. Thank you, Dr. Felicia. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, CB. Thanks, everyone out there.
Thanks,
And
Cheryl.
oh, thank y'all. It's a pleasure. And next time y'all see us, it'll be in a little bit. There's gonna be some vacation time, and we're gonna see you next on Live with Cheryl on December 7th at 8 p.m. Meanwhile, hopefully y'all will enjoy a peaceful and silent